Hello, everybody. Welcome again to one more episode and the last one of the series Live Coding After Hours Flutter Edition, developing a casual game in Flutter for both iOS and Android. My name is Roman. I am a Flutter GDE. Very excited to have you here. One more episode again. 14 episodes. This is the 14th episode. We've made it, y'all. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you so much for supporting this series. We've made it. We've actually developed an application from scratch, from the beginning, from the first Flutter create, now down to releasing it to both the Google Play and now to the App Store. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching, for tuning in, for always giving your comments and your suggestions and whatnot. Thank you. I appreciate everybody joining. Again, I'm Roman. I am a Flutter GDE. I am also a lead organizer at GDG Lawrence. And this is Flutter Live Coding After Hours Flutter Edition, developing this Flutter casual game for both iOS and Android. And tonight, the last episode, we are deploying it. We're publishing it to the iOS App Store tonight live. So stay tuned. In the next hour or so, I'll be completing this process, so please stay tuned and let's check it out. So as soon as you may have remembered, this is the application that we've been building for the past 14 weeks. It's taken us a little bit, but at least I wanted to make sure that everybody understood all the things that were involved in building an application, releasing it to both iOS and Android respective stores, implementing state management, animations, how to create a Flutter project, how to structure it, how to consume, how to do shared preferences, how to integrate it with Firebase authentication, Firebase Crashlytics, Firebase Cloud Firestore, all of the good things of a casual game. So we actually, I even saw someone already submitting to the leaderboard. So Dyer, thank you so much. He was the first one actually who completed the game after me and submitted his score. So congrats to you, Dyer. He's again a vivid and a very great follower, amazing developer. Also another YouTuber and streamer. Great developer, great friend of mine. Thank you so much for the support. There he is. He's in the leaderboards officially. So I'm gonna be dropping the link actually to the Android version, which we released last week. I'm gonna drop it in the chat. For those of you who are, I see already the usual suspects. I see Jose, how you doing, buddy? I saw you earlier. Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you so much for the support. Randall, GDE, Flutter GDE in the house. Thank you so much, Randall. Always appreciate your support. Thank you, Damien. Again, a future Flutter developer as well. Thank you so much for joining. I sent you the t-shirt. You should be able to receiving it soon. So thank you, everybody, for joining. I'm dropping in the chat the link to the Android version for those of you who want to already start playing around with the Android version that we released last week. Appreciate everybody's feedback. I know a few people were getting confused on how to play it. Some people maybe were even having issues on how to deploy it to their device. To all of you, thank you. This is the power of the community, providing feedback in real time and being part of a collaborative process. Remember, I've been building this application using a process called a methodology called building out in the open. So I built this application in front of everybody. I'm gonna be sharing the code soon. I'm actually releasing both applications, both versions, iOS and Android, and I will be so I just dropped that in there, and then like I said, I dropped the link. So again, I totally thank you, everybody, for providing their feedback, helping me test it pretty much. So we're gonna start right away. Let me just show the screen. This is the application, the version of Android that we released last week. I've already submitted a couple of updates based on your feedback. So that's exactly what I'm gonna be doing tonight. I'm gonna be releasing the iOS version of this application. So I'm even gonna go through the actual documentation from Flutter on how to deploy this same application for the App Store. So please follow along. I am going to do exactly just that. Please wish me luck. Oh, Damien says he is already a Flutter developer. Of course I know. I said you're the future. Like some of you are the future of the development ecosystem. So I appreciate everybody supporting and joining. Thank you so much. Cirilo, how you doing, buddy? Thank you so much again for joining. Cirilo is another proficient and very prolific Android developer, also Flutter engineer, Flutter developer in the house. Thank you so much for the support. So tonight, for those of you who are in the house, I'm going to be raffling 2, not 1 anymore, 2 Flutter t-shirts. And if you tempt me, I'm going to do 3. But I'm going to be raffling a couple of Flutter t-shirts, even better than this one. Some of you already have gotten it. Make sure to, show your love and support. How the t-shirt is fitting you and how you like it. So tonight, I'm going to be raffling 2 Flutter t-shirts. Stay tuned. All you have to do is tweet Flutter live coding throughout this session. And I'm going to be raffling 2 Flutter t-shirts as a token of my appreciation and as a farewell to the series, because we're going to take a little break, but then we're going to come back with a lot more energy, a lot more enthusiasm, and more content, better stuff, other applications. So definitely appreciate everybody's support. So we're going to be raffling 2 t-shirts at the end of the session. Make sure to tweet Flutter live coding. Look at the bottom of the screen, Flutter live coding throughout this session. Tweet it, because I'm going to be raffling 2 t-shirts today. Thank you. Okay, let's do it. We're going to start. Remember, this is the application. I'm going to show it right now. Remember, this is the application that we have. This is the iOS version. It's exactly the same one. Remember, the beauty about Flutter is the ability to build beautiful natively compiled user interfaces with one single code base, and you can target multiple platforms. In our case, I barely did any changes in code, like in native code. It was all Flutter. And I use the same code base, the same code to deploy it to both iOS and Android. If you tempt me, I'm gonna make this available for web. So if you do, I'll do it. You guys want to do it? We'll probably do it. Probably not be the next series. We're gonna convert this application to the web, and then I'll do the desktop application and all of that. So again, more on that later. But right now, again, this is gonna be the last session where we're gonna be deploying this. So let's start. So I'm going to be following the documentation that is here. It's in the document. It's in the in the Flutter documentation, how to build and release an iOS application. We're going to go through this checklist just like I did last time. Remember that we went through a checklist, and of course I published it. So we went through this checklist, which was registering the app on App Store Connect. We're gonna go through all of these things in order for us to complete the process. So let's keep me in check. Make sure if you see me making a mistake, make sure to stay on tune. Diego developer in the house, the master. How you doing, buddy? Diego, my buddy, my friend. Diego, how are you? He's in the house, showing his support. An amazing, prolific Flutter developer, Flutter GDE, and a huge personality in the Flutter space. So thank you so much for the support. Let's do it. So I'm going to start, again, like I show you. This is Skipping Frog, the application. Remember, we have like a help page. We have the options. Remember, we are able to like mute sounds and clear all game data. We can view the leaderboards. I see already Dyer, and he already showed up his score in here. I'm the top guy. I'm the highest scorer right now. Why? Because I know the game. So anyway, but this is exactly what we're going to be doing. Remember, for iOS, you're able to submit your score either with your Google credentials or your Apple credentials, because we added Firebase authentication for both iOS and Android, for both Apple, sign in with Apple, and also with your Gmail account. So you can do that. And then you're going to get prompted, by, again, here you're going to see the prompt for that. So you can either sign in with your Gmail account, or you can sign in with your Apple account. So I'm going to just sign out. That's it. I'm going to remember how the game goes. You need to swipe in the direction of the arrow, and that will make the frog jump. So you remember, you just swipe. You swipe. Pretty cool. All good. You see, you can get all of that. Pretty cool. It's coming out really nice. And then you make your way through the pond, all the way across the pond. You see the little frog. You have to swipe in the direction of the screen. You have to swipe in the direction of the leaf. That is what makes the frog jump. You can exit the game, or you can just, you lose. Remember, when you lose, if you lose all the lives, then it says like, oh, play again, whatever. If you do, you can start all over. That's all good. Or you can pause the game. Can exit, like I mentioned, and they can start all over. So this is what we're gonna do. The same application that we released for Android to the Google Play Store, we're gonna do it for iOS. Let's do it. So the first thing, preliminaries, we say that we need to register our application on the App Store Connect. That's exactly what we're gonna be doing. So I'm gonna go to App Store Connect, make sure that I do have it in there. So I'm gonna go to my account. I'm gonna check out some of the preliminaries in there. So let's take a look. So you guys are gonna maybe help me go through some boring process at the beginning, but that's okay. Let's go through that. So I'm gonna try. Here we go. So you can go. You can, for example, you can take a look at your membership details and all of that. But that's all good. What we really want to do is go to our developer account so that then you can see all the things about like the certificates, identifiers, profiles, and whatnot. So I'm gonna go there. So I'm gonna go to certificates. Here, the certificate, I already have the certificate for my development. Oh, some of you already know that if you want to deploy your application for iOS, you need to pay $100. We've already seen, a couple of issues with Twitter and, and Apple around that, how they don't want to pay the 30% that, the cut that Apple takes for every application deployed in the store. So it is what it is. But again, you need to have a developer account, $100 a year. And then you can publish your applications in here. So the next thing that we're going to take a look is, again, it says like you need to register your bundle ID, but let's get to that in a minute. Actually, here is going to say that you need to register the bundle ID. Actually, why don't we just go there? It says that it's going to take me right there. I'm going to collapse this. See, I'm going through step by step here. Actually, why don't I just go back and then let's do this. So we went to the App Store Connect. We're going to register the bundle ID. I'm going to open it in a new tab. So I'm going to open it in a new tab, and here it is. So we need to register the identifier for the application ID. So I already have it. I already did it for you. But if you want to do it, the way that you do it is you add a new app ID, which is kind of like a unique identifier for your application. So you make sure that it says app ID. Then you hit continue. You select what is it that you're going to be doing. Are you going to be doing an app or an app clip? So I'm going to be doing an app. I keep it there. Continue. You have to fill up a couple of things like the description of your application. I called it like Skipping Frog Mobile. I think it was something like that. And I provided like a bundle ID. The bundle ID is kind of like that reverse domain name type of deal. So I called it com.drcoders.skippingfrog. I called it like that. I already have my team ID and all of that. A couple of the things that I wanted to add to the application were I wanted to make sure that I have sign in with Apple. So I need to check this and I would configure it and whatnot. I will show you how I did it. Then after that, when you hit continue, you can finish that up and configure it and you're all set. I'm gonna go back because I already did all of these steps. So I'm gonna go back to my identifiers. This is the one that I already created for Skipping Frog Mobile right here. This is the old version that I had, which I'm actually completely decommissioning it. This is an application that I built on Objective-C. Back when there was no Flutter, I developed this application in Objective-C. I'm just rewriting it in Flutter so that you can see that with one single code base, I'm able to publish it to both platforms. So I'm gonna click on Skipping Frog Mobile and then you see all the things that I did. So I called it that. I added my bundle ID. I added, but not in-app purchases. I think that was there by default. But the sign in with Apple, I need to make sure that is checked in there, and I need to do the enable as a primary app ID and all of that. So I completely set up my application ID. That was the first thing that I needed to do before I attempted to even publish this application. I needed to have that there. So you see how you add, select explicit app ID. I already did that. Select the services that your application uses. In my case, sign in with Apple. And you confirm the details and then you register. That's exactly what I did. And then boom, once you finish, you're here and then you have, this entry right here, the application ID. Perfect. We're all good. Let's continue. Next one. Now you need to create the application record on App Store Connect. So let's try that now. Dyer, and I was just saying that, how you doing, buddy? I was just saying that, thank you for submitting your score. You were the second person who has actually completed the game and submitted a score, but I'm still better than yours, man. Look, mine is still higher than yours, and the time as well. So, but anyway, kudos to you, man, for completing the game, submitting your score. So you are definitely one of the champs on that. So thank you so much for your support, Dyer. Thank you so much. There it is. That's your score. Yeah, you'll beat it? Oh, I'll see that. Let's see how you got. Let's see how you fare. I'm going to release the iOS version. Maybe in iOS you do better. So good luck to you, buddy. Thank you so much. But yeah, I just wanted to give you kudos on that. Let's continue. Now the next piece is I need to add the application record. So once you set up that in App Store Connect, you need to do that actually the first part with setting up the application ID, the bundle ID. Now you need to do this part right here, which is setting up now the application record. So this is App Store Connect. Of course, you're going to see all my apps and whatnot, of course, but this is where you now set up the record for your application. So see, I'm going through that. I'm clicking, creating the new app, filling out the details and all of that, and then setting it up. So let's try that. I've already done that. Let me just clear it out of the way. Now I'm going to create that record for that application. I haven't created it at all. Let's do it. So I'm going to click My Apps. And I'm gonna create the first app now. With this application, that entry, the record that represents the application that people are gonna download with all the descriptions and all of that. Sometimes for me, I don't know if you guys have this issue. I usually have to even gravitate to Safari sometimes for like some of this stuff to work for me. It's a little weird. So I'm gonna bring Safari over, and from here I should be able to log in. I think it may have to do with something that I have cached. But let me try it from here from my Safari. And then now you'll see that all the apps will display and all of that. So let's try this. I'm still gonna keep the other one for the instructions, but this for the application. So these are some of the apps that I've built, all in Flutter, by the way. Now I'm gonna add the new one for this new one, the Skipping Frog. So let's do this. I'll create a new app. It's gonna be for iOS, and the name is gonna be Skipping Frog. The primary language will be English for the US. A bundle ID. I should already have my bundle ID. Here it is. Skipping Frog. Is that the one? I think I already have that. Perfect. So I'll do Skipping Frog. Perfect. There it is. The SKU. So is this the unique ID, but it's not visible for the App Store. What I do for an SKU for that type of like you can have like an SKU generator, but I usually don't do that. It's like that's called like stock keeping unit, but that's something that it's only used for like physical products usually. I usually do this. Look, I do like a GUID generator, and then I just grab like a long GUID, and that's like my SKU. So I'm just gonna grab like a GUID. I'm gonna generate a single GUID, a long unique identifier, and I'm just gonna put it there. Perfect. Great. Maybe you could drop in the chat how you guys do it. I'll just do it like this. I'll say my application will have full access, and then I'll do create. You see the minimum that you have to do to create that record? Once you hit create, then it creates that record in App Store Connect. Still, you don't see nothing. It won't appear in the store until it has been published, but at least this provides the main record of the application. Now we need to go through a couple of the steps in here. The main thing, you can go up and down this list of options that you have in here. But I wanted to honor the things that the checklist that we have. So let's go back to our checklist. What do we have so far? We've already registered the app in App Store Connect. We've already registered the bundle ID. Now we are creating the application record on the App Store Connect. Let's try that. So let's do that. So we already added the new application. We're gonna fill out all the details, whether it's iOS or tvOS. We're gonna do the app information and then select all the other stuff from there. So let's do that. Going back to my Safari, so I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna do app information. What are the things? So Skipping Frog is the application. There's no subtitle. I'll probably just do Skipping Frog. General information probably remains the same. They auto-populate a few things. I need to set up the category. That's one thing. So I'm gonna say is games, and then subcategory. I'm gonna say casual. Other, I could do, for example, sports strategy. I could do strategy. A secondary one. No, I think I should keep just the main category. I think that's okay. Content rights, I think is gonna ask me for that if it contains, if it contains any third-party content or whatever. We're gonna get to that in a minute, but let's see again. Remember, what is the minimum that it requires for you to publish the application? So let's continue. I think I'm gonna have to edit some of the license agreement and whatnot. I'll do just apply Apple standard license agreement. Or you can do like your own stuff, but I'll say apply the Apple standard. So I think I just keep the same one. Let's just continue saving. As soon as you make changes, you save and then you proceed to the next level. So how are we gonna price and make this application available? Let's make it free, just like the one in Android. So I'm just gonna say it's free. But if you decide to do that, you're even gonna have to submit like some tax information and whatnot. If you decide to charge for it and whatnot, also you have to provide like some bank information, stuff like that. I'll say that this application will be available to all countries selected. Let's see. It's going to be available everywhere. I want everybody to have access to it wherever it's possible. So I'm just going to cancel out of here. I'll say that it's going to be available to all countries. Awesome. Next thing, what is it? So I'm going to make this application available automatically. Sure, I can do that. This is saying that I want this application to be available on the Mac App Store. But for example, it's only, for example, like if it's for Mac OS, I guess. But I'll just keep it like that. It says like for iPhone and iPad. But this is for Mac OS 11. If, for example, like if this application is available on the Apple Silicon Mac, like for the M1 machines. Distribution methods, I'm going to make it public, discoverable by anyone on the App Store. I want to make it public. Just keep it like that, say offer a reduced price, but I don't, I'm not going to get into that because it's free. If there's no reduction, it's just going to be free. Last compatible versions, there's no last compatible version settings, so we'll keep it like that. Remember, as you make changes, keep saving. Make sure that you save those things. So I'm going to save that. Now we know that have some basic information and it's free. The privacy of the application. You want to share? Okay, what other unsaved changes do I have? Oh, no, sorry, it's because I didn't let it change. So make sure while I am doing this, tweet Flutter live coding. At the end of the session, I'm going to raffle 2 Flutter t-shirts. Everybody who has received their Flutter t-shirt has already flaunted and bragged about it, but I'm going to be raffling 2 t-shirts tonight. 2 t-shirts tonight. So make sure to tweet Flutter live coding throughout this session so I can pull your name out of the Twitter list, out of the Twitter posts, and then I'm gonna be doing the raffle. So let's continue. It's already saved. Let's go to the next aspect, the app privacy. Here you need to do like the privacy policy. Remember what I picked as the privacy policy? Of course, I just grabbed my, if you already have like a page devoted for your privacy policy, please go ahead and use it. What I'm using is just my own portfolio application, my portfolio web application. Just pointed to that. But I would encourage you to have like a dedicated page if you want to be more legit. Have like an application with a privacy policy and whatnot. Sweet. So I'm gonna save that. It's already there. Let's continue down the line. Ratings and reviews. So let's try that. There's no ratings and reviews because this application has not been published yet. So let's just keep it like that. Version history, we're gonna get to this once we publish it. You're gonna see like the first version. You're gonna see the version in here. App review, this is for, again, application review and whatnot. There's no app to review yet at this point. In-app purchases, there are no in-app purchases in this application. Although if you guys want, we can make it so that you can buy little gadgets or clothes for the frog in the future. Anyway, subscriptions, no subscriptions, no promotions, no custom product pages, that's all good. No in-app events and no product page or optimization. So you saw how simple I made it so that I just went through the basic information that you need to fill out and then you should be good. I kept saving and all of that. So now let's go back here to the prepare for submission. This part here, we're going to come back later once we see the application being uploaded. So let's try that. It may take a little bit, so we're going to have to start uploading now because it takes a little while to show up in here. So let's go back actually to the application and let's start building it. Perfect. We're going to get to that point later. That's why I'm going to leave it there. So let's review the Xcode project settings. Let's go back to our application. This is our application, remember. So the way that you access, remember, the core Xcode project for your application, you need to go to the iOS folder. I'm going to collapse this. I'm going to go to the iOS folder. Go to this file here, runner Xcode workspace. I'm going to reveal in Finder, and I will just open it from Xcode. So I'm going to come over here. So here it is. I'm gonna right click, open with Xcode. So let's take a look at some of the settings over there. We're just gonna go over like the basic settings just to make sure that we haven't missed anything. So that's what we're gonna be taking a look at. So we got Xcode is loading up. That's okay. I'm gonna close this, but we're gonna take a look at the main runner project, and you can take a look at some of the things in here. For example, you go to the general tab. See, I think it even says here in the identity section, go to the general tab, take a look. Let's take a look at the display name. The bundle identifier, make sure that it matches the one that we set up in App Store Connect. If, for example, the signing in capabilities, you take a look at all of those, look at the deployment target. So pretty much this is the screenshot. We're going to take a look at that. So let's go over. We have the app category, games, family games. We could do that, or I could do games. I can set it up in here actually. Let me see, games. So it's games. I should have seen casual in here for some reason. Okay, so I know. So I'll just keep it at games. Skipping frog is the display name. Version 1, build 1. My bundle identifier matches what I created in App Store Connect. And I'm only supporting the portrait and upside down portrait. That's it. I already have app icons, so by that time I'm gonna skip over that aspect. How do you check whether you have your app icons set up? Go here on the left hand side, go to under the runner, there's another runner folder, click on the assets link, and there they are. I have all my icons already set up. Remember in previous episodes we set up all the icon launcher. We did the icon launcher package, and then we set it all up. Even the App Store icon gets set up for you, so that should all be taken care of. So that's great. So make sure that you go through all of those. Also, another thing that you need to make sure is that because we're going to be using the signing with Apple, you click here where it says signing in capabilities, and look, I added that capability right here. So I know that my team I have my team set up, bundle identifier set up, automatically manage signing, and I make sure that I have the correct signing certificate. And remember, the capability for signing in with Apple, the way that you add it, you should click here on capability, search for that specific capability, or you can even scroll down. I think it's because maybe it has been added already, but the signing with Apple got found here, and then because it's already added in here, you see, I didn't find it because it was already there. I'm pretty sure if I delete it, it will get back to the list. So those are the capabilities. You can take a look at, for example, like other flags and whatnot, but that should be the minimum that you should be looking at. So we should be pretty good to go. I'm gonna close my project in here and continue right down. You see, it says like add an app icon. So let's go back to our checklist, make sure that we are sticking in line. Yeah, oh, Juan Rodriguez, yes, that's right. We're already getting spam, so yes, we made it. We made it. Thank you. That's so weird, man. That's so weird. Oh, Damien, they say any Firebase t-shirts left. If you got to be the winner, I'm gonna send you a Firebase t-shirt if you want. Great. So I already created the application record, reviewed the Xcode project settings. I already added the application icon from previous episodes, so that's good. Now let's make sure to go right down the line and update the app's build and version number. So let's do that. I'm gonna move this over, and that's exactly what I'm gonna be doing. I'll skip all of this, and I'm gonna get to the update the app's build and version number. Remember, the same way that we did for Android, we kept some versioning. The way that you do it is very simple. You got to go to the pubspec.yaml and you just change that value and build your application. That's exactly how you do it. So let me go. I'm going to go to the pubspec.yaml. And right up here, you see the version number. I'm keeping the Android version separate from the iOS. So this is where you change the value that you want to do. In my case, it's still version 1.0 and build 1. So let's keep it like that. If you want to increase your build because you added like another fix or whatnot, a patch, increase this value, rebuild the application, and resubmit it. So that's exactly where you change the version number. So it's right here, look. You open the, the application bundle. Update the app. That's not where we are. Here. So we're here. Update the version number. You got to go to the pubspec.yaml, that you can do it through there. Or you could do it manually going to the version like the way that I show you, but I like to do it programmatically, which gets reflected because remember, when you do it through the pubspec.yaml, it already updates all the build bits for you. You don't have to go to Xcode and change those things manually. But it's also good to just go over and take a look and making sure that things got reflected on the other side. So let's continue. I'm not doing this. Now we're going to do the application bundle. So let's do that. For Android, we build an app bundle. We can also build an APK, For iOS, you build an IPA. I almost got confused. IPK should be APK for Android, app bundle for Android, but for iOS, you build an IPA, which is that build archive, right? So, and then it already encapsulates that. So the way that you do it is you say Flutter build IPA, not like the beer, but IPA, to produce the archive. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. So you say Flutter build IPA, and I'm also going to be obfuscating my build the same way that I did it previously on the Android version. So I'm going to be saying Flutter build IPA obfuscate blah blah blah, and then if it has like some split like debugging information, I'm going to do it right now. So I'm going to say Flutter build IPA obfuscate blah blah blah. So let's do that. So I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna close the pubspec.yaml. We don't need it because we have already done it. Let me open up another command terminal and I'm gonna do it. So here it is, and I'm gonna say Flutter build. I say spa. Let's do it again. So it's Flutter build IPA obfuscate, right? And then I provide this split debug info so that it generates those debug map files, right? So I'm gonna just hit enter and let's see what it does. So it's gonna build with sound null safety. It's gonna build that IPA. It's gonna build that package that then we will use to upload the application. To upload, is that package is kind of like compressing it, it's gonna be it's kind of like the format that that the App Store requires so that we can build the application. So hopefully this shouldn't generate like any issues or whatnot. But at least you see that some versions of Flutter, you do that, blah, blah, blah. So this is the application bundle. Then we're going to be uploading this application bundle to the App Store Connect. We're not going to update it via like here by dropping it here. We use a tool called the transport. I don't know if you guys have seen this or have used it. In the past, you had to do it through Xcode, but now you use this application called Transporter. Transporter, not transport, Transporter. You drag the application in here, you drag the IPA or that generated bundle for the iOS application, and then it just uploads it, does a lot of verifications and whatnot. So it definitely simplifies and streamlines the publishing of your iOS application. Yeah, they're probably already, yes, they're probably spamming me with that, but anyway, let's proceed, guys. Thank you. So fun. Anyway, let's see if it's still building. Great. So we're going to be using this transport application. You drag the generated the bundle, the IPA or the PKG, and then you drag it in here, and then it does a lot of things for you. While this is building, make sure to tweet Flutter Live Coding at the end of the session. I am going to be raffling 2 t-shirts, so make sure to stay tuned. Tweet Flutter Live Coding at the end of the session. 2 Flutter t-shirts. 2 Flutter t-shirts, and if Damien wins, he's gonna get a Firebase t-shirt. Or I can mix it up. I could do 1 Flutter and 1 Firebase, but today is about Flutter. Let's honor that, and of course, remember this is the last episode, so make sure to follow me on Twitter. Also, subscribe and like this channel, and also you can even connect on LinkedIn. We're gonna continue doing more of these events again for your enjoyment and for your learning. So make sure to stay tuned. Okay. We're going to wait until that finishes. I'm just going to go over and continue a couple of the things in here, for example, while that uploads. So some of the screenshots. Remember, we're going back here to App Store Connect and update the record of the application. So a couple of the things that is required is you need to have some previews and screenshots. I already have those ready. So let me go and find those. So I already have a folder here called screens. And this one already has like all the screens that I require for example, like a 6.7 display. So I'm just gonna drag. I think I have a total of, let me see how many. I think I have 10. Yeah, 10 images. I'm just gonna drag it in here. I'm gonna hit edit and drag all my images. So these should be screenshots of the same application. I can rearrange some of these because this looks a little weird. So this is like the beginning. Oh, actually, no, they actually got ordered correctly. So this is all good. So already I'm supporting, for example, like 6.7. I can do the 6.5 too. So I'm gonna drag those images. I pre-created those so that you don't get bored by looking at me creating those things. So I'm just gonna add those in there. Make sure that you create them based on the specifications. You can take a look at here you can say view all sizes in media manager, and you can take a look at some of the sizing, the information that it requires and whatnot. I think I opened up the wrong one. But anyway, so make sure that you take a look at like the proper sizes that you need to import your application and whatnot. So some promotional text. We could even use the same stuff that we did for this guy. If I'm gonna go to my this application, I actually like my store presence, main store listing, this guy. So I'm gonna use this as the short description. I'm gonna use it here also as the promotional text. The description, I'm gonna be using the same description that I did for the Android version because it's the same application. So I'm gonna copy all of this. I'm gonna go back over, and this is the description. You know, you need to have all this pre-created. You know, it's about like the application and whatnot. Let's add a couple of keywords. I'll do like skipping, frog, flutter, you know, frog, pond, you know, casual. I don't know, a couple of, you know, keywords, whatever. You can do anything you want in there. Support URL and some of the other stuff. Remember, the same way that I did with the Android version. I just grabbed my URL and then I use that. If anybody wants to submit anything, just you know how to reach out to me. This is my portfolio page. Marketing URL. It's recommended that you have like a devoted page for your application, so it is also good. Oh yeah. So it's, some of the folks says the transporter comes with Xcode. No, you have to download it separately. So if you go to the App Store, good question, Jose. So you go to the App Store, you have to download it separately. Here, if you do transporter, it's a separate application, and then you have to download it. So you can download it as a separate from the App Store. Very good question. So let's see if this is done. I think we should be good. Yeah, I think we're good. So he's just asking. See, the Xcode archive is already done. It's already built. We're gonna get to that point in a minute. Let's finish this, but at least that part is taken care of. This is version 1 of the application. Cool. Copyright. I'm gonna say the same thing that I did on the Android version. I think I said something of the sort of like what did I say? Let me go back here. I'm gonna say 2022. You know, Roman just codes. All rights reserved. I don't know. Why do you write it there? Just stuff like that. There's no routing app, so you can skip that. App clip, there's no app clip. iMessage app, nothing. Apple Watch, I wish. Build is going to show here once the build happens. So let's stop here. Let's go back to the application and let's now find where the APK, where the IPA got generated. So let's do that. It's actually an XC archive that gets generated. So let me go to that folder right here. You see build iOS archive. So if I go to the build, iOS archive, this is that archive that got generated. This is the one that we should be using for that, right? So let's take a look at that. So let me open it up. I'll say reveal in Finder, and we have an archive, which is right here, runner.exe archive. So what you do is you grab transporter. So let's go to transporter. What the heck is it? Here it is. And then the way that they recommend here in the instructions, we're gonna go back to the instructions now. If you want, you can just say, you know, install an open Apple Transport macOS app and drag and drop that file into that application. Or you do all of this stuff. So that's, or you create a build archive using CodeMagic CLI. But I'm gonna go with the simplest approach, which is just this. So let's open transport. I'm gonna drag my archive over. Sorry, I'm gonna say add the application, find that file. So I think I should be able to find my archive in there. So let me go to users, Roman documents. I think I have it in under my Flutter applications. Let's take a look. So I have my skipping frog. This is the guy. I'll go to build. Let me actually make it as a list. So I'll do where am I? So I do build iOS. There's the IPA there. But is that the one that I do is this one, the archive, but for some reason is doing that. Oh, the archive, sorry. So the archive, you can just drag the IPA. The archive, you can double click on it. Sorry about that. So you can double click on it, and that actually does that distribution from there, because you need to do the validation and you do the distribution. I can do the IPA, but the X archive is also another approach. You can just double click on this and the XE archive, and then it pops this up for you. You can do the distribution of the application from here. You need to do the validation, but then if you do it through here by just dragging the IPA, then you should also do it in a more streamlined way, which they recommend. So actually, why don't we do the IPA instead? Perfect. Let's do the IPA instead. So I'm gonna go build iOS IPA, and then I'll do that. Perfect. So let me go back to that folder. I'm gonna go to my build iOS, then IPA, and then it's just the IPA that I'm gonna drag. Here it is. Look, this is Skipping Frog IPA. Just drag it over, and then look at this. So it's gonna do all of that. See, it's now all you have to say is deliver. So I'm gonna click here, deliver, but it's gonna do the uploading. It's gonna do the validation. Before it used to be like very steppy and very manual, but the transporter kind of like facilitates a lot of those things, right? So see, you can even do the X archive. I totally forgot because I've done it both ways, but the XE archive, you can just double click on it and then it launches that process. The IPA, I felt, see, it's already analyzing it. It does like validation and it uploads it right away. The other one, you have to go through a bunch of things and then get to that. Here, it uploads it and then you just finalize some of the other aspects. But see, it's already uploading it, connecting to the App Store Connect, matching it with the record that is up there. And you will see that when we get to this point, to here to Safari, you see that this application doesn't have like any icons in here. That will actually auto-populate the icon and all that. Once it receives that build and that version of the application, it will populate a bunch of things for you based on the incoming IPA package that just got uploaded. So here you can view it in the App Store Connect and whatnot, but at least it should be there. If you now go, for example, like here, you can go to app information. You can, hold on, let me make sure to save. You can go back here to build, but it still hasn't shown it because it takes a little bit for that. You can read up on that, how you can do that. You can look at for example, the version history, which is the one that I was mentioning. Here it says like prepare for submission, but in a minute you will see here the version build 1 that will appear there, and then that's the one that we're going to be using for the submission, right? So let's just wait a minute. It says that it has been delivered. See, there's like some logs and whatnot. You can take a look at that. You can view it in App Store Connect, but it still hasn't reflected there yet. But let's take a look at some of the other steps that we need to do meanwhile that happens. We already, again, the other option is that you can create a build archive with code magic, blah, blah, blah. You can do all of this if you want to. Great. What else? Yeah, this is if you want to do that process. Then you can also release it on test flight. Let's say in the event that you don't want to release it right to production, just like the way I'm doing it, you can do it so that you can have some test developers, or you want to release it just for like a group of people, you can use test flight. I definitely recommend it if you're not ready to deploy it to the outside world. It's something massive, something that you definitely need more eyes on. You want to have more people test it a little bit and take it for a test flight. That is exactly the way to go. So test flight, you can push your application to internal and external testers. They receive like a link. They receive the way to download it privately to their phones, but they cannot grab it and like copy it and send it to somebody else. No, it's only for like a limited number of people. So that is that. Let's take a look at our checklist. Yeah, Code Magic is pretty good. Definitely. I totally uploaded. So I said that we already updated the app's build and version number. We already created the application bundle. We already uploaded the app bundle to the App Store Connect. Now we're going to finalize the piece for the release. But we still need to come back over here and see whether this is sticky, right? Make sure, again, like I said, it's gonna show up here in a minute. Just, trust me on that. Yeah, some of these is just not showing, but I'm pretty sure. Let me refresh this, because for some reason it's like acting up. Like some of the screens that I uploaded, it's like they didn't stick. So see, I have these ones do this one. Okay, see, I think it's still there. It's just that it's just not showing. If I click on it, So like, okay, there it is. So it's still there. It's just like the thumbnails are not showing up properly, which is okay. Cool. So now if we go back here, remember it says you release the app to the store, set up the pricing and availability, select the status from the start. You can do prepare for submission. And remember, you have to keep looking at the version release section. That is the one where the application gets uploaded there, and then you can use that for the distribution. Here it says these are how you distribute the application through the App Store, but I don't recall having done much. Just publishing it, make sure that it's available right away. I think there's this option here that it says like available right away. Here, look, automatically release this version. So I'm gonna do it like that. Say as soon as it approves, as soon as the people in Apple approve this application, they review it, then they automatically release it, and then it's all good. I remember that I had to make this application. Remember that the Android version has the sign in with Google, but then for this one I had to do sign in with Apple. If you are adding authentication for your Flutter applications, I got dinged twice. I got rejected twice because I did not add sign in with Apple. It's like they say, oh, but you're adding authentication, but you're kind of like alienating a bunch of other users, specifically ours. So make sure to add sign in with Apple, and then we will reapprove it. So I had to grab my application, add all the coding involved for signing in with Apple, then they approved it. They didn't just take it with sign in with Google. For Android, yes, but for iOS, you need to have sign in with Apple if you're gonna add authentication to your application. In my case, that's what happened. I'm just giving you another tip. Great, awesome. So let's continue. Let's take a look again. I told you it may take a little bit, so I can just it's already been delivered. So I'm just gonna close this because it should already be there. But again, it just takes a little bit, so you just gotta be patient. Let me go back to version history. Still not coming up. I go to services. No, Game Center. I'm not gonna do Game Center again, like I showed you. Test Flight is where it shows you again, like some of the, if you want to do like some of the builds, you can take a look at the builds for testing and whatnot. You can take a look at crash feedback, but I'm using Firebase Crashlytics, so this probably you need to add like maybe some stuff in there, but I haven't done the crash feedback from iOS. I've only done it through Crashlytics, so I should be good with that. So for the approving or review, good question, Jose. It all varies depending on your application, but usually I've seen it very rarely that in a couple of hours they've approved it. That's like a rare case. They usually take between 24 hours to 3 days. I've seen applications taking a week. I've seen applications take much longer than that. But you need to make sure that you get your stuff together, that you do provide all the information required. If your application requires like a let's say like a test account, because it's like an internal application, make sure to provide those credentials, even like a sample like credentials, like a sample account for them to log in and test it. Make sure that you provide all the information in there so that they don't take too long in reviewing it. So make sure that you get all your stuff together. You get all your again, everything pretty much based on like your application, so that you avoid getting it rejected and I think it's a bummer after you're like, oh my god, they just rejected it because of a small little thing. So let's go back to applications again. You already see this, that like the entry, the record, but when you click, it's still not showing up. Here is where we will see like the upload is taking a little bit. If I go back to version history, it's still taking a bit. Because I'm pretty sure like they're doing for example, like the validation and whatnot before it shows up here. I don't think it was like a huge package like you saw it, but you see we've already taken care of everything. Make sure to tweet. It's 9:49 again. I'm gonna get to the hour, but I don't want to keep you here too long if this is gonna take a long time to upload or to appear here. But after this, all we need to do is just select that build, hit save, and submit it for review. Of course, it doesn't get approved. It's just submitting for review. But at the top of the hour, I am going to be raffling the 2 t-shirts, the Flutter t-shirts. Make sure to tweet Flutter Live Coding at the end of this session. At the end of this session, I'm going to be raffling 2 Flutter t-shirts as a token of my appreciation for you joining these sessions. 14 sessions total. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining. It's been Andres, you say you want a t-shirt? Stick around, buddy. You have to stay until 10 more minutes until we raffle that. So stay tuned, buddy. Stay tuned. Thank you so much again for joining. But yes, make sure to join. Make sure to tweet Flutter Live Coding. At the end, we're gonna raffle the t-shirts. So see, I've already gone through all the steps. All we need to do is just wait for that, for that package to just appear right there. It's taking a little bit, but that's okay. See, it's still going. Remember, the other way that I showed you that you should do it is through the through here. Remember, through the archives. But we already have an application in there. You can do the distribution, the validation, and all of this. You see, it prepares the archive and all of that. You could do it like this. See, it says that there's already okay. I think this is using like the wrong bundle identifier. This is what it was doing. So let me take a look, and if this is the issue, at least it got delivered, but for some reason it didn't give me an issue here. So I'm gonna try to resubmit it then. So I'm gonna try doing that. So let's try this. See, still not showing. So I'm gonna resubmit it one more time. Perfect. So it's still not showing. Perfect. Let's try it again. So I'm gonna go back to I'm gonna go back here to the I'm gonna go to iOS. I'm gonna go my runner, reveal in Finder. Let's open it up again in Xcode. We know for sure that we are using the right bundle identifier. This is so good, or right version. We also, when we go to App Store Connect, let's take a look in there one more time. But not this App Store Connect, but the developer. Let's do the developer. Apple.com. Let's go there. Let's go to our account. Let's make sure that okay, still coming up. Perfect. So I'm gonna go make sure that all of this was already set up appropriately. Just wanted to make sure that our identifier was proper. See, this is the skipping frog mob. Yeah, so this is the correct one. The ComDR coder skipping frog, that is the one that we're using. There's no other one, so we should be good. So it's just taking a little bit to show up. Apologies for that. I'm apologizing for Apple, but anyway. I can even try the other one, but I mean it's still gonna do the same thing. It's just gonna try to upload it. Remember when I did the X archive, which is here. I say iOS, and I do build iOS, and then I do the archive. I double click on this one, so that this pops up. You see that it gives me that. I'm gonna delete this archive. I'm actually gonna delete both of them. Let's try it again. So I'm gonna do one more time. Double click on this guy. See, it pops up. Then if I say distribute the application, if I say App Store Connect, I think it's gonna say that. See, it's uploading it, so it's gonna upload it again. So, but anyway, let's give it another shot. While this is uploading, see, it's saying that it was previously removed from the app. Okay, no, this is already. I've already restored this. This is something else. Let me delete this archive. Delete. Let me try it again. So I refresh. I think it's just having an issue with probably the way that I created that initial one. So why don't we do that? Why don't we take a look again at the record? Let's take a look at the record one more time. So if I do app information, this is the skipping frog. Oh, okay. So I think that was the. Let me see. No, this is the one. The dear coders, the service ID for that. Perfect. No, there's no other one. I just wanted to make sure that I had the correct one. So this is the one. So for some reason, it's taking a little bit. Yeah, this is all good. Yeah, this is pretty good. It's just taking a little bit to upload, but we should be able to. At least I completed like the basic record for that. I'll definitely keep you updated as soon as let's say we do get the submission in here, like the proper package, because I don't want to keep you waiting. Sometimes it takes like a little bit. But there it is. All we need to do is just here, it will appear here like the build version. I'm gonna take a look at that. For example, you see it mentions about like the upload tools. You could do Xcode, you could do it through the alt tool, you could do it through the transporter. I actually already did that, but you saw that it said delivered, so I'm wondering why the transporter application still says delivered. You see, and then still, but if I say view in App Store Connect, when I go, let's see what he does. See, it's the same one, so it still points to it. So it says that he delivered it, but it doesn't say, for example, like it didn't do it, right? So it's still doing that. I'm gonna bring it over here, and then I'm gonna refresh. Oh, look what it says. This says, this app was removed from your account. It's because of the name of the application. Got it. So it's because of the previous application that I used. The previous version of the application was called Skipping Frog as well, which is okay. It's just say that this application was removed. We can definitely call it something else then. But the old application, when I go here to all my applications, it says that it was removed, but it probably they hold on to that name for some reason. So I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna say restore app. Let's try that. So I'm gonna say restore application, restore. You see, it cannot be restored because the name has already been used. That's okay. Perfect. I'm just gonna come over again, go back to the prepare for submission. All I'm gonna do for now, you're gonna see it with a different name. That is the only issue here. For example, like if I come over here and then I do, again, let's just completely remove it. I'm gonna go back over. I'll click Skipping Frog. I say prepare for submission. If you scroll all the way down here, for example, like to the app information, scroll up, this is remove app. So I'm gonna remove it. I'll say remove. Let's do it again real quick, and then I'll show you. We're almost about time, but at least I'm just gonna go over real quick. When you do your application, make sure that you don't have a previous one with the same name. That was the issue that we were having. So let's try again. I'll say new app. It cannot be called Skipping Frog because that was the previous Objective-C version. So I'm gonna say Skipping Frog Mobile, for example, like that. And then let's take a look. English for the US, that's okay. Bundle ID, I already have my bundle ID. Where is it? The camera is blocking me. I'm gonna shrink this a little bit. Here we go again. So I'm gonna do. See, and now the other one doesn't show here. It's because of the other one over there, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back over, go back to here to my certificates, make sure that I add a profile for that particular one. Because it says, you see, like, so that and then I need to add, for example, like the identifier. I need to make sure that so this one right here, the Skipping Frog Mobile, see, it's still, so it's Skipping Frog Mobile. That is the one that I want. Perfect. So I have my identifier. I already have the certificate available. I have my profile. So let me make sure that I have, so skipping, let me try to do this one. So I'll do add a profile for App Store. I'm gonna do continue because I removed the old version. That's what it was. So I'm gonna do again Skipping Frog Mobile. So I'm gonna have to do this again because I removed the old version. No certificates available. That's okay. I'm gonna create a certificate for Apple for iOS. For distribution. So I'm gonna so Apple distribution. Continue. I have to create a new certificate, they say, but I think I already have the certificate downloaded. I'm gonna have to go back and do that. So I can either create a new certificate, upload a new certificate, or manually generate it. So I can do that. I think I already had it. Let me take a look. In my downloads, I think I had that certificate. Skipping Frog certificate. I think I had that one. No, that is the. Let me see. I think no, that's not the one. So let me try it again. I'm gonna go back to adding one certificate for the iOS distribution, App Store, and ad hoc. Why is this? Okay, got it. Perfect. So let me make sure that I grab my identifier, Skipping Frog Mobile. This is all good. I already have it, but I did have that. So it's because of the fact that I tried to download the old version, and then for some reason it's still conflicting with the old one. But that's totally fine. I can definitely take care of that. I just don't want to keep you guys too long in here. But I need to create my profile in here and make sure that I have that for that version. Then after that, I need to hook it up, associate that profile with that. Then I have to come back, upload it, and all of that. I can probably again, I'm gonna continue doing this, but it's gonna take again a little bit longer. Not for development, for distribution. Let me do it again. So I'll do App Store. I'm gonna say continue. Select the application ID, which is the, let me go back over. I think I should have it somewhere. Skipping Frog app ID. No, this is the old one. You see, that was the reason why it also got. So if I do Skipping Frog, this is the one that I want. Continue. Create a certificate for the Apple distribution. Continue. But it says that I have to create that signing certificate, which I had, but then I need to regenerate. But anyway, we're about time. I can continue with this. I'm definitely gonna finalize the publishing of it, but at least I just wanted to make sure that you saw how the initial process went, because of the issue that I had with the old Skipping Frog version of the application, the Objective-C. That was the clash that I had. But I'm definitely pushing this forward, and I'm gonna continue publishing it. And then once that occurs, I'm gonna drop the link in Twitter and all of the other places so that you can see it when I publish it. But hopefully we're gonna have this application up and running soon for you guys to enjoy it. I just wanted to say thank you so much for sticking around, for seeing me again, making mistakes and blowing this up. This was an amazing experience. I just want to say thank you, everybody, for everybody who joined here in this chat. Thank you, Marco, for joining. Yes, from a third-party provider, it needs to be generated from the signing certificate has to be created from Apple, because you know how they truly are very adamant about security and how they need to sign their applications. So I can definitely even provide more information about that, but at least this is gonna take me a little bit longer, but I don't want to exceed the time. Otherwise, if you guys want to continue doing it, we can do it. But at least I want to just say thank you very much. You guys have been amazing. Damien, Sarhan, you're here, buddy. How you doing? I missed you, buddy. Randall is in the house. Marco, thank you so much for joining. Jose, thank you so much for joining. As always, supporting. I see so many people joining. Who else was in here? I see Diego. Diego was in here as well. Cirilo. Thank you so much, guys. All of you guys have made this series an amazing series. I definitely had a lot of fun building this application. Again, remember, take a look at the Android version. I'm gonna definitely finalize the submission of the iOS so that you can actually enjoy it as well. Need to complete a couple more things. Need to make sure, because again, that was a conflict with the previous application and then this one because of the naming. But I'm gonna complete that, and then I'm gonna release it again for you guys. So thank you so much. I'm gonna give you now 30 seconds for you to tweet Flutter Live Coding. Now we're gonna be raffling 2 Flutter t-shirts, so stick around. I'm gonna be raffling those Flutter t-shirts in 30 seconds. So I'm giving you 30 seconds for you to tweet Flutter Live Coding. Now I'm gonna be opening up the favorite portion the favorite portion of the series, which is the Wheel of Names. And I'm gonna wait for you guys. Marco, thank you. Yes, I'm gonna be releasing the iOS version. Just had a few hiccups in there because of the naming aspect, the old version versus the new version. That's why I'm pretty sure, that's why I love doing it in Flutter, because now I don't have to just do it on Objective-C for one version and then in Java for Android. Now with Flutter, one single code base, I'm able to release it to both. It's actually much smoother. Nothing against Android, but the iOS version is a little bit smoother because of the new devices. Definitely try it on the iOS 14, on the iPhone 14. The latest iOS version is pretty good. So time is up. Let's get the people who have actually tweeted Flutter Live Coding through the session, and let's raffle a couple of Flutter t-shirts, Flutter Live Coding. Make sure it's spelled correctly. There it is. Let's see how many people have submitted, have tweeted Flutter Live Coding. We have the usual suspects. We have Damien, you're there. Jedi Pixels. We have Jose. Who else is here? Randall, of course. So now we're gonna raffle 2 Flutter t-shirts. Let's see who's the lucky person to get the Flutter t-shirt. So thank you so much, guys, always for supporting this series. This is just a small token of my appreciation for you sticking around. So let's do this. So I'm gonna spin the wheel and let's see who gets it. So I'm gonna spin the wheel. Good luck to everybody. Thank you so much for joining this session and for tweeting Flutter Live Coding. So let's do this. Who is Jedi Pixels? I think who's Jedi Pixels? I know Jedi Pixels. Who is it? Yeah, who is it? No, I'm just saying, like, if you're Jedi Pixels, yeah. There you go. Okay, awesome. Okay, thank you. Is it you, Marco? Is it you? Jedi Pesos? Yes, it's you. I'm like, is it Marco? Great. You're gonna get a Flutter t-shirt, or if because you already got one, I can give you a Firebase one. So let's try that. Thank you so much again. So I'll definitely send you a t-shirt. You let me know which one you want, Flutter or Firebase. I can do that. Removed you. Now actually I need to remove that, and now let's do the next one. So let's spin, and good luck to everybody. So let's do this. Who's gonna be the next t-shirt? Let's try this. Next t-shirt is Jose. Jose, thank you so much for joining. You got a t-shirt. Awesome. I already got a Flutter t-shirt, so I can send you a Firebase if you want. Awesome. You know what? Let's continue. Let's keep raffling. I know you want another t-shirt. Let's raffle another t-shirt. Let's do it. Are you guys up for it? Let's do it. I'm going to raffle another t-shirt. I'm being generous today. So let's do it. Who's going to be the t-shirt? MJ Wagmare. Who's MJ Wagmare? Can you say present? MJ Wagmare. Yes. Remove. I'm going to remove. Ask, tell me, a Flutter or a Firebase. Let's do another one. Let's do another t-shirt. How about that? I'm going to spin the wheel. Let's see who gets another t-shirt. See what we've already done. We're going crazy, guys. We're doing a lot of t-shirts. Is this you, Damien? Is this you? You get a t-shirt too, man. Awesome. Great. Thank you. Anybody wants another t-shirt? Let's do another t-shirt. We're gonna reward everybody here. So who's gonna get a t-shirt? Randall or Made by UX? So who's Made by UX? Can you report? Let's see who gets a t-shirt between Randall and Made by UX. Made by UX. Made by UX, you get a t-shirt. And Randall, you're getting a t-shirt. I'm spinning the wheel. And you're also gonna get a t-shirt. Look, who's getting a t-shirt? Randall is gonna get a t-shirt. Everybody left with a t-shirt today. Guys, this was a celebration to you. For all of you, again, joining this session, supporting me throughout the session. I know you guys had a lot of fun. I was meaning to give a t-shirt to everybody. It was all depending on how many people join, of course. But no, thank you so much, everybody. Everybody got a t-shirt who was able to submit a Flutter Live Coding. Make sure to tweet me privately so that then I can send you your t-shirt. Everybody gets a Flutter t-shirt from the list. Thank you so much, everybody. You guys have been amazing. I am Roman. I am a Flutter GDE. I do this for the community. I definitely, I'm coming back again. I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to create more content. But definitely I'm coming back with another series of live coding after hours. Probably Flutter edition, probably Flutter web or something like that. Let's see. Let's see what you guys say. What do you guys want to see? But stick around. Stay tuned. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe and like to this channel. Connect on LinkedIn. Let's connect. And make sure that then, you stick around so that then you can see what are the things that I'm going to be doing in the upcoming months after that. So if I don't see you around, again, have a great holiday. Spend time with your family, with your loved ones. Continue building Flutter applications. This is an amazing framework. Just want to say thank you so much. This has been an amazing ride. I was able to, again, develop an application from scratch. Now I'm publishing it to both versions. So we're going to be doing that. I'm going to keep you up to date on when that application is released. Again, we're going to continue communicating through Twitter. So thank you so much. I am Roman Jacques. I am a Flutter GDE, lead organizer at GDG Lawrence. Thank you so much, everybody. See you on the next one, on the next live stream, on another series of live coding after hours, Flutter edition. Take care, guys. Have a great night. See you.